Hi there. One of the things about doing videos like this on a regular basis is that you're forced to go back and look at what you've done and critically appraise yourself. And that can be quite a brutal process because there's a gap in your head between how you think you're coming across and how you actually come across. And that gap tends to become really prominent when you actually go back and look at the videos. And one of the things that I worry about is am I being too David Brent or am I being too Alan Partridge? Because believe me, the temptation to do that is really strong. And I was talking about this with my son, who helps me to produce these videos. And he said, well, look, I think there's an interesting piece there about David Brent's management style. So, you know, pull that apart. What is going on there and what makes him such a bad manager? So I think it really comes down to four characteristics or four things that he displays. So I'm going to go through them one by one and pull them apart. The first characteristic is narcissism. David is a narcissist. He is so keen to protect this self-image that he has that he will ignore information that might challenge that view of him as being that sort of great manager, that great friend in the workplace, but that great inspiring leader. You know, he's very unreceptive to feedback and to criticism. And as a consequence, he just becomes immune to any of the information that might be coming into him to help him to improve or to do things better. The second thing is this eagerness to be liked. You know, for him, that's the most important thing. I've got to be liked as a manager. You know, think of me as a friend, chilled out entertainer, those kinds of things. And that eagerness to be liked can cause him a lot of conflict with the third thing, which is he knows political correctness is important, but it's a very superficial understanding, and often this comes into conflict with this eagerness to be liked. So he will tolerate and he will go along with all sorts of inappropriate banter in the workplace because you know, he's trying to reconcile these two things together. So the consequence of this is that he ends up relaxed to the point of being negligent. He doesn't address the things that need to be addressed in the workplace. He's arbitrary, so he can enforce some rules really strictly and allow other things to completely ride. He's lazy, or rather he's unwilling to really grapple with the issues that are important, and he distracts people. So in this eagerness to be liked, in this sort of narcissistic approach that he takes, he causes all sorts of disruption in the workplace that prevents people from actually getting on with doing their work. And ultimately, he fails. The approach doesn't work, things don't work, things don't get done, the organisation fails, and he loses his job because of these attributes and these characteristics that he has. So, you know, the key to all of this, I think, is really self-awareness. What is David Brent other than an extremely unself-aware person? Actually, deep down, there's a lot of good there. There's a lot of well-intentioned, well-motivated things that he does. But underneath it all, he loses because he can't get past this self-image, this idea that he's built up of what he should be like, and the gap between how he thinks he is and how he actually is. So if you're worried about, am I a bit David Brent, am I a bit Alan Partridge, best way forward, ask. Talk to your colleagues, get some feedback, be honest, and try to understand how you really come across, because really nobody wants to be David Brent. That's it for me for today. I'm Gareth, and I'll see you on the next video.